So if you take your Algebra 1 review flip book and open it up to the very first flap, this is titled Multi-Step Equations. And we're going to do these first 4 problems today. All right? Question number 1 up here, we've got 2 terms inside of these parentheses with a number out front. That means we're going to need to use the what property? Distributive, right? That word's pretty important, distributive property. All right? So we're going to take that 9 and we have to multiply it by both terms. So 9 times 1 is just 9. 9 times negative 2x is just negative 18x. So we've got the left side distributed out. Now let's distribute out the right side of the equal sign. We're going to do the same thing, but this time we have a negative coefficient. So we're going to multiply negative 3 times x, which gets us negative 3x, and negative 3 times 1, which is negative 3. Now we want to get our variable on one side or the other. Some people prefer it on the left. Some people prefer it on the right. It doesn't matter which side it ends up on. It's as long as the x is by itself, and it can't be negative, right? It needs to be positive 1x. So we're going to, well, you could either add 18x or add 3x. It's kind of up to you. I'm going to add 3x. Mostly just because I prefer my variable on the left. But if you don't care, then add 18x. In the same step, I'm going to subtract 9. This can be done as 2 separate steps. I combine the 2 steps together just to save myself a little bit of time. Okay? These are opposites and they cancel. These are opposites and they cancel. And then I'm just going to combine these two. So I have negative 18x plus 3x, which is negative 15x. And then on the right, I have negative 3 and negative 9, which is negative 12. And then that x is being multiplied by negative 15. What's the inverse operation? Division, right? So we're going to divide by negative 15, divide by negative 15. These cancel, and we're down to our x. And then on the right, we've got a fraction, right? What do you notice about both of those numbers? They're both negative, so what can I do? Make them both positive. And I've got 12 over 15. That's a nice, lovely fraction, but what can I do with it? Reduce it. What are they both divisible by? 3. So 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. And there's our final answer. You can circle it, highlight it, put a box around it, whatever you feel comfortable with. Any questions on number 1 there? Awesome. All right, number 2 up here, similar on the left, little tricky on the right, because it looks like there's not a coefficient here, but I'm going to squeeze in a little 1 right there, okay? And when we get there, we'll talk about it. On the left, we've got a fraction, which makes it look super complicated, and it could be, except 16 and 8 are both divisible by 4. So that makes it kind of nice. If they weren't divisible by 4, it'd be a little bit trickier, right? Okay, but since they are, it's going to make it nice for us. So we're going to take 16x and divide it by 4, which is 4x. And then 4x times negative 3 is negative 12x.
Did you just make it 7.75?
Make it what?
0.75.
You could, and if you had a calculator, multiply it. Sure, you'd still get 12, but just make sure you keep that negative sign and the x. The calculator's not going to do the x for you, but yeah. All right, now let's do the 8. Okay, so 8 divided by 4 is 2, and then 2 times negative 3, negative 6. All right, now let's look at the right side of the equal sign. So we've got a 19, and then I want to take this negative 1 and distribute it here and here. Just leave the 19 separate for a minute. That's going to combine with a like term in just a second. But for now, just rewrite it. Then we've got negative 1 times 10x, which is negative 10x. And negative 1 times negative 3. Negative times negative is a positive, so it's plus 3. Now we've got like terms over here, right? The 19 and the 3 combine to get 22. So we have 22 minus 10x. And then over here on the left, there's nothing to combine, so I'm just going to copy it down, bring it down. And then we're in the same spot we were with number 1. We can either add 12x or add 10x, just depending which side you prefer your variable on. I'm going to add the 10x. In the same step, I'm going to add 6. These are opposites and they cancel. These are opposites and they cancel. And then I'm going to combine the like terms that are left. So negative 12x plus 10x is negative 2x. And 22 plus 6 is what? 28. That x is being multiplied by negative 2. So I'm going to do the inverse operation, which is to divide by negative 2. So we get x is equal to negative 14. No fraction this time. Awesome. Any questions on number 2? All right, jumping down to number 3. I'm going to, since I have a fraction over here, I'm actually going to make the right side of this equal sign a fraction. If the whole thing is in a fraction, and this whole side I can make into a fraction, I can do the cross product. You guys know how to do the cross product? So I'm going to take all this and multiply it by 1. When you multiply by 1, you just get what you started with, right? So it's going to be 5x minus 18, and then I'm going to distribute this negative sign already. So negative x minus 9. So that's that cross. Then this cross is going to be 2 times 3 minus 4x. And then in the next step, I can distribute that. I can also, on the left side, combine like terms, right? I've got a 5x and a minus 1x. That gets me 4x. And then negative 18 minus 9 more makes it really negative. What's it going to be? Negative 27. On the right, I've got 2 times 3, which is 6. 2 times negative 4x, which is negative 8x. And now we just want to get the variable on one side or the other. So I'm going to add 8x to both sides. Same step, I'm going to add 27. These are opposites, they cancel. These are opposites, they cancel. And then I just combine the like terms of what I have left. So 4x and 8x is 12x. 6 and 27, was that 33? And then the x is being multiplied by 12, so divide by 12. Can we reduce that? Yeah, they're both divisible by 3, right? So 33 divided by 3 is 11. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Let's just leave it as an improper fraction. If you want to change it to a mixed number, go for it. But as long as it's reduced, improper fractions are fine. Any questions on number 3? All right, number 4, we're going to approach the same way. We don't even have to add a 1. They're both just already in fractions, so we're going to do the cross product. So I'm going to do 3 times the 4x plus 1, and 7 times the 2x minus 1. And that makes it a lot easier, right? Okay. Is it okay if I had put the 3 at the back of the parentheses? Sure, because in multiplication order doesn't matter, right? 7 times 8, same answer as 8 times 7. You just have to remember to distribute, like draw your rainbows backwards or whatever, okay? So we'll go 3 times 4x is 12x, 3 times 1 is 3. 7 times 2x is 14x, and 7 times negative 1 is negative 7. I prefer my variable on the left, so I'm going to go minus 14x from both sides. And then I'm going to move the 3 as well in the same step. These are opposite, they cancel. These are opposite, they cancel. And combine what's left. So we've got 12x minus 14x is negative 2x. And then on the right side of the equal sign, we have negative 7 minus 3 more. Makes it even more negative, so it becomes negative 10. And the last step, that x is being multiplied by negative 2, so we divide by negative 2. So x should be 5. And positive, right? Because negative divided by negative is positive.